Welcome to the first video of the Sold Data Access. We're going to be discussing how we can use Sold Data Access to retrieve products from Sold Data Mart. This is the home page. It's sdm-data-access.nrcs.usda.gov. It brings you to this page. Sold Data Access, the query services for custom access to the Sold Data Mart. So on the left-hand side, you see all of the regular URLs, the hyperlinks to all the different versions of information that we've got available in soils. Then you got the Welcome to the Sold Data Access. And basically this gives you a synopsis of what this page is all about. This is dated, so be aware of that. But this is, as it says, provides you a way to request data from an ad hoc area of interest. Web soil survey, you have to go in and draw an AOI before you start retrieving data. Using Sold Data Access, you'll be able to collect your information fairly just based off the information you need. You get it in real time, meaning that you're hitting the Sold Data Mart right now. And so if a state happened to update their soil survey area yesterday, then today you're hitting that actual data. You can request the selected tabular attributes. This is really cool because you can not only select data, but in the use of your SQL, you can actually transform that data and return results. And it gives you a way to return that data and organize that data so you don't have to mirror the underlying database. Meaning, if you want to query legend, map unit, and component information, you can run that query and you can retrieve that data without having to retrieve the legend table and the map unit table and the component table. It's all right there in one line of information. And you can bundle your results by your request. And as we get into some of the later videos on this, I'll show you how some of these queries work to be able to transform and bundle this data. All right. From there, you see that underneath the banner we've got Home, and then you can also click on About Soils. This will take you to the Soils webpage, and basically is there to be able to give you another source of information on soils. We have a help, and I advise you to read the help. This has some very good information on how to access it and some of the basic information on this particular web page. Doesn't take but a few minutes to go through and read it. And then it also has the Contact Us, so you can basically contact any of the NRCS offices. Alright, so that's underneath the banner. Those are the tabs there. You then have an I Want To, and you can submit a custom request. You can subscribe to the SDA news, and then you can also unsubscribe. Where we're going to start our focus on is I Want the Help on, and you can get help on creating your own custom database queries, using the web services, how to use this SDA web page, and then also citing. And so if you go to the citing, here's the information on how to specifically cite the Surgo and the StatsCo data, along with the month, the day, and the year that you've accessed that information. And going into using the Sold Data Access web, this is the help page. So here's the second way that you can actually go to the help page. And I'll go back. Yeah, here we've already covered that one. And then here is using the Sold Data Access web services. Okay, these are the following web services that are available. I totally understand that most of you have no concept of what a web service is, but a web service allows you to call data from the database and use it in another program. I'm not going to cover the variety. You can go through here and read this. There are some example URLs that are used that you can click on and see what the results are. I do want to show you the spatial SDM. Right here it talks to you about the spatial data access, and basically this is a capability of being able to add the spatial layer to your ArcMap. You'll see that it says to add the service to the ArcMap. It gives you the instructions on how to go in there and add a WMS server. And then once you've done that, you can put in this specific URL, and then what it'll allow you to do is access the actual spatial layer in ArcMap. Now, I've already done that, and here's an example of how that's done. And all you have to do is go into Add Data. And of course, this is going to take forever. No, it didn't. So you're gonna add a WMS server, and you can see that I've already added it using those instructions, and I have it down as the NRCS Sold Data Mart Data Access site. There it is, and you can see that I've got it right here, and I've got it clicked on, and so it will go through and it'll identify that these are the sold map unit polygons. You can do the polygons, the point, and the layer. There is no information behind this. You have to be able to know what the actual symbols are. You can't link, you can't join or relate any information to this. I've also turned on the ortho via a WMS so that you can see that I've got the ortho. So you got an idea now that this information can be used in ArcMap, and you can retrieve that information from the Sold Data Mart directly. You don't have to download any information. And then here, of course, is my ranch. So we've got that information set up for you, and as long as you know what 3396 is, or 3950, 3850, whatever it is, you've got that legend available to you. You know what it is. But you can see that there is no information available other than the fact that it's the spatial layer and symbol. Okay, so coming back here, that's the only one I'm going to cover on the web map services, but I do want you to be aware that that has that capability, and we do have users who actually use that capability. So here's the rest of them. It goes through and identifies a variety of different services that are available, both feature and map. And you can click on the URLs and take a look at the resulting information. Now then, that gives you the basic information about the web services. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to look at, I want help on creating my own custom queries. This is the page that you must be familiar with if you're going to write any queries on the Sold Data Access site. We give you a query guide that gives you some background information. You got the reports and the diagrams, and you need these reports in order to understand. You're dealing with a publication database here, and that publication database has a different data model than what the NASIS data model is. You have to understand the data model, and that's the reason why the diagrams are there, and you have to understand which columns are in which tables, and that's the reason why the reports are there. And then we also give you the sample query. So this information is available to you for you to be able to use to understand how this process is actually working. Okay, I'm going to click on the query guide. It'll take me right here. And I'm going to open up this specific query guide and take the time to print this off or keep it close at hand so that you can read through this. This is basic information for somebody who has never dealt with this SOLS information before. And so you can see that it gives you a lot of the information that most of you who are going to be using this already understand. But it doesn't hurt to go through and scan this thing to be able to understand it. Now, it also gives you the information about executing the SQL. And that's something that you're going to have to take the time to sit down and read. I'm going to cover a lot of this, but you know as well as I do, you need to have something to fall back on to be able to read. So, and that's what this is all about. You have the domain report. You're not going to use that when you have the table and column description report. The description report is really good if you don't know what the exact purpose of that or what is this particular field. The vast majority of you need to have the table and columns report so that you can have that particular report available to you when you start writing. You need to know what columns are in what tables. So that gives you the background, the overview of the web page, how it's all laid out. And on the next video, we're going to go into utilizing these reports and these diagrams in order to create a custom report query. So this is the end of the first video, basic synopsis of the site itself, and then video 2 we'll start talking about actually running queries.